Good evening, and welcome to this week's edition of Dateline SAU, where you can catch all the latest news and sports from St. Ambrose University. I'm Anton Wilkins.
And I'm Taylor Grinnell. A world premiere is coming to the SAU Theater Department. Dr. Corrine Johnson will be directing the play, The Plagiarist. Aaron Randolph III, who will also be acting in the play, wrote the production. Both the playwright and the director believe this production relates to life today and how we all share information. The story is about a guest artist at a small school. He has become famous through re-photographing other people's photos and selling them as his own. It is based on a true story.
I think people are more open to the idea of sharing ideas. You look at what people do in music, the idea of sampling, the idea of doing remixes of music. It's very common now. And that's such a creative process, and yet it relies on someone else's initial work to come up with something completely different.
But that really begged the question of, is indeed that plagiarism, or do we all steal ideas? When you go to a class and you learn from a professor, are you not stealing their ideas? And who did they steal them from before that? And it is a real interesting discussion, and the play deals with what is original thought, and how do we determine if what we're doing is moral or amoral.
Showtimes are February 24th and 25th at 7:30 p.m. and February 26th at 3 p.m. in the Galvin's Fine Arts Center. Call the ticket office for ticket information and reservations. After Friday night's show, there will be a discussion with a panel on the stage. The group will include Dr. Mike Hestetti, who is the head of writing across the curriculum and is a person who often deals with plagiarism here at SAU. Randolph Johnson and the cast will also be available for the discussion. A world premiere reception will follow in the Galvin lobby.
This year's St. Ambrose students could not help but to notice that one of their classmates have been accompanied by a friendly dog wherever she goes. But the St. Ambrose community has quickly learned that the dog named Bauer is providing a valuable service to that SAU student. St. Ambrose University authorities have agreed to allow a service dog to assist students with disabilities. A golden retriever named Bauer is a service dog that is lending a hand to one lucky student.
I have cerebral palsy, a condition that affects my balance and my legs and all my limbs at some level. Before I had Bauer, it was difficult for me to get around campus. I had a lot of problems with my balance, so I had to have people walk with me to class. And now that I have Bauer, I don't have to have any of them help me.
When Sarah approached me about the idea of having a service dog on campus, I got a team together, talked of administration, housing, physical plant, housekeeping, to make sure everyone understood what our role would be based with disability law, and things where we could ask or could not ask, and how the process should work. I think there's been a lot of excitement from a student standpoint of wanting to pet Bauer and see Bauer, and so it's okay to pet Bauer, but you have to seek approval from Sarah first. So I think the Ambrose spirit has definitely been alive in this whole process.
Again, Student Disability Services would not like anyone to pet Bauer without first getting permission from Sarah. Please feel free to contact Student Disability Services or Student Affairs if you have any questions or concerns.
The SAU Psychology Club held a Valentine's Weekend fundraiser for the club raise money for the annual walk supporting the National Alliance on Mental Illness and for several other issues.
Just trying to get some funds together and give to our treasurer, and then we just kind of disperse them throughout how our club needs, and we get t-shirts made for the members and things like that.
The Psychology Club raffled off concert tickets and gift cards. They raised over $600.
MACA, or Multicultural Affairs Community Action, is an organization to bringing diversity to the SAU campus, but many SAU students are unaware of the group. Sean Eston is the president of MACA. He says that the loss of Cultural Life director last year has hindered the group's ability to host as many programs as they usually do. events such as the annual fashion show and the gospel celebration, normally held in February to celebrate Black History Month, have been pushed back to March.
I think it's very important to try to get like a broad range of cultural events that cater to all races, walks of life. So I think one reason that it's important is because a lot of students don't experience that as far as like where they come from. So it kind of like opens their eyes a little bit, kind of gets them to experience how other cultures, how they have events or how they like live and just background, and kind of get to know them a little bit better.
Some up-and-coming events include a spoken word poet and a speaker coming to talk about stereotypes in culture. A list of events can be found on the SAU website.
Just across the river at Augustana College, there has been a recent move away from traditional textbook to the use of e-textbooks, leaving many here at St. Ambrose wondering if something similar may be in the works on our own campus. With various other forms of media going digital and the ever-increasing popularity of e-readers, traditional textbooks may soon be a thing in the past.
We have a number of our classes include e-books with the packages that also have the hard textbook with them. Prices vary for the e-books. Sometimes they're cheaper, sometimes there isn't a lot of savings for the e-book. But there are more and more professors that are looking at the option of an e-book for their classes and making it available if the students don't wish to go that direction. We haven't seen a lot of interest in just going to e-books yet on this campus, but eventually I think that will be the next step.
St. Ambrose students already have the option of purchasing e-books instead of traditional books for some courses in departments such as nursing and business.
With graduation in summer only a few short months away, the SAU Career Center offers an online aid called B Careers to help students find internships and employment.
B Careers is a career management system. So what it allows is it allows us to post all jobs and internships that we know about, whether it's a full-time job, a part-time job, or an internship. And when I'm working with students on finding an internship, I always tell them use any resource that you have available. So always start with B Careers. It's a great resource. It has hundreds of jobs and internships on it at any given time. And they change daily. So once you create a profile, you have to diligently use the system. It's only going to be as effective as how much you actively use it.
For more information, go to the website at sau.edu/bcareers.
We've had a mild winter this year compared to last February, but don't get caught off guard if the weather turns. Some helpful tips that will keep your car safe this season. For students who keep their car parked on campus and don't use it every day, a good tip is to run out and start your car every other day to ensure the battery does not die from the cold. Leaving a vehicle with less than a quarter of a tank of gas may prevent the car from starting due to a frozen fuel line. Experts say that as the temperature goes up and down, make sure to check the tire pressure in your vehicle. More helpful information can be found on various websites like cartips.com.
It's been another busy week for SAU sports.
The #1 men's volleyball team hopes to stay undefeated as they travel to the #6 rated Grandview Vikings.
And the Fighting B men's basketball team looks to keep their winning streak going and head into nationals on a strong note.
Dateline SAU's Tim Nicholas will be here with all the exciting highlights coming up right after this short break.
Stay tuned.
I absolutely fell in love with the atmosphere and with the people, and there was just this attitude of really wanting to help the students learn, and all of the hands-on things that are available here, I could get involved right away. It wasn't something that I was going to have to wait to be involved in. I can tell people that I have all of these experiences and that I can do anything that they have for me to do. They were all just great experiences for me, things that I'll remember for the rest of my life.
Even though the Fighting Bee basketball team had already clinched a conference title, they wanted to finish strong heading into the postseason, and especially in front of a home crowd for its regular season finale. Things are looking good in the second half. Check out this pass from Kush Donnelly to Nicholas Frazier to give the Bees the largest lead of the night of 14.
Right there from Donnelly. Frazier gets an easy lane, and you know what that all comes from is the nice screen set for the possession.
A bit later, Marquez Davis finds Justin Blondell and nails this long jumper for 3 of his 15 points in the night. The Turbo starts to make a run, but here, Ben Alpin hits Frazier in the paint for 2. Bees go up by 8. On the next possession, it's Mike Kennedy with the putback, and the lead is back to 10.
So good, but Kennedy's there for the one-handed tip-in, and you got to put a body on somebody and box out. Mike Kennedy, Offenberg dribbles it
and then there's a scramble. The Bees finally get it ahead to Frazier for the dunk and the foul. And St. Ambrose makes it 11 wins in a row with a 79-69 victory. Mike Kennedy led the way with another double-double night, with Frazier, Blondell, and Davis all scoring in double figures. Following a road game at Iowa Wesleyan, the Bees will host a first-round game in the MCC tournament on February 22nd. The Queen Bee basketball team entered Wednesday's contest with Viterbo, with both teams fighting for a chance at home court advantage in the conference tournament. It was also senior night, and one of those seniors is destined to rewrite record books. We'll pick it up in the second half, and it's a freshman who provides the early spark, Katie Schuler with a steal. And a quick pass to Molly Yergel, back to Schergel for a big 3.
Gets all the rim and drops for Schuler. Viterbo can cut this lead even
later in the half, Annie Smith blocks his V-Hawk attempt, giving her 176 blocks for her SAU career, setting a new record and prompting a standing ovation from the crowd.
Annie Smith, 176 career blocks in.
A bit later, the Queen Bees with the rebound, and they look to push. Lauren Cash finds Samantha Saladino in the lane, and the Queen Bees go up by 13. The V-Hawks try to answer, but Smith gets this rebound, and off they go again. This time, Cash finds Molly Yergel in the corner for a nice jump shot, and the Queen Bees enjoy their largest lead of the game at 18. And the team coasts to a big conference win. Samantha Saladino led the way with 14 points and 9 rebounds. Molly Yergel added 13. Annie Smith, on her record-breaking night, added 13 points as well. Both the men's and women's Fighting Bees indoor track teams had a good showing in the Midwest Collegiate Conference Championships. Junior Ebony Butler started things off strong for the woman by taking first in the 55-meter preliminary. Junior Abby Parsons took second in both the 800-meter and the 1-mile run, as the team finished second for the day. As for the men, Junior Joseph Torres took second in the 400-meter dash, and Junior Kevin Randall took first in the 8,000-meter run. Both teams are looking forward to the NAI National Championships on March 1st. The #1 Fighting Bee men's volleyball team took on the nation's #10 team, the Clark University Crusaders, on Valentine's Day at the Lehman Arena. The Bees quickly go to work and an attack error by Clark's Tavis Gabehart gives SAU a 25-17 win in the opening set. During the second game, this kill by Dan Dowjotis puts the Fighting Bees up 13-6, and the Bees would not look back, winning the second set 25-14. Then, following another kill by Dan Dowjotis on an assist by Michael Nooner, the Bees complete their 3-game sweep over Clark. Dan Dowjotis led the team with 12 kills. Michael Nooner added 3 service aces to go along with his 25 assists and 8 digs. That set the stage for another battle of 2 top 10 teams on Wednesday, as the #1 Bees played #6 Grandview in Des Moines. And the Bees were upset in a drawn-out first 5-set battle, as the Vikings give St. Ambrose its first loss of the season. Dowjotis led the Bees with 19 kills. Hayden Grove added 18 kills in the loss. The SAU cheerleading and dance squads had another successful performance at the NAIA Midwest Regional Championships. The cheerleaders took first place in the small co-ed division, and the dance team took first in the large dance category. Kayla Crocker and Alyssa Borozic were named to the All-American team for the cheerleaders. Katie Arp, Miranda McKenna, and Heather Sturtz made the dancers All-American team. The dance team earned a paid bid to the NAI National Championships. The SAU bowling teams found success at the Clark Invitational. SAU's Aretha Williams was the individual women's champion. The sophomore from Davenport averaged a 204.83. The women's finished third in the event, which also served as the conference championship. The men finished second after falling to William Penn in the semifinals. Freshman Kyle Anderson won MCC Newcomer of the Year and was named to the all-conference team along with his junior teammate Brian Thompson. The success of the St. Ambrose athletes was recognized this past week as 3 Fighting Bees were named Midwest Collegiate Conference Players of the Week. Men's volleyball player Dan Jaljotis, women's indoor field athlete Mary Strew, and men's basketball player Mike Kennedy earned that award this week. And that's it for sports this week. I'm Tim McNicholas.
Thanks, Tim. And that will do it for this week's edition of Dateline SAU.
Be sure to join us every Friday and Monday evening at 6:30 for the latest news and sports from St. Ambrose University.
It seems like our winter weather has been giving us a little bit of everything, from bitter cold and snow to almost spring-like temperatures.
We thought we'd like to ask students about their favorite winter moment. We'll leave you tonight with their responses. Thanks for watching.
Good night.
My favorite winter moment over winter break was hanging out with my friends because I missed them so much.
My favorite winter moment was having a great winter break and seeing all my good friends that went away to college. And one of those people and I, we went over to WQAD and we watched a live nightly newscast, which was really cool because we got to see everything in action and it was very exciting.
My favorite winter moment is finding out that I got straight A's for the first time in my life.
My favorite winter moment was when we had a big snowball fight on the football field because there were a lot of girls out there and I ended up hitting them with snowballs.
My favorite winter moment would have to be probably just being at home, like for Christmas and being with family, getting out of Iowa. It was really cool.
My favorite winter moment was when Kennedy, for the boys basketball team, hit the buzzer beater against William Penn.